Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I said welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from New York, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Morning.
Morning.
What's going on, man?
Oh, here in New York, show tonight at the Stand, 8 p.m. if anybody wants to come, and then off tomorrow morning. Long drive down the famous Jersey Shore, passing through places like the famous Toms River, New Jersey, home of the 1998 Little League World Series champs. Atlantic City, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Pete Sestaro opening, Claridge Hotel. Get your tickets now. That's what's happening here. Did some shows the last couple of days. Went to a concert at Radio City Music Hall last night. It's pretty great. Pretty great little couple days here in New York.
You know what's funny? I'm listening to you, but I'm just seeing a couple of comments. Like the dirt balls are hilarious. Andy is high as balls. Dude, it's 10:15 a.m. I know.
Chase, he's throwing a Hail Mary. He's hoping he's right.
No.
He's like, can you imagine if I nail this?
I think because of the lighting, a lot of times the dirt balls think I'm stoned.
Meanwhile, I work in the shadows.
Yeah. I've literally been stoned once in like 7 months. So
wow.
Yeah.
I my sister's basement, great place to record for everything but lighting. Basements, famously not great lighting.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking maybe I need to adjust. Everybody thinks I'm coming in and just blaze out of my mind.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
You're probably just baby tired, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure dirt balls are sick of hearing it, but I'm teething stage right now. So that's a whole other thing.
I think my favorite thing about Andy Ruther having a child is like how everything that like the whole world has gone through and you've heard all the parents about, they're all like complete and total shock to you. You're like, do you know they get teeth? It'll fuck your life up, dude.
You forget
these
though.
Kids they don't just come out and just like go to sleep, which is like you're tired. Sleep.
It is weird. You're like, you don't have teeth. Suddenly, like you're growing teeth, and then you're not sleeping, and you're literally spitting up and vomiting all the time, and you have a fever. Like you're just like, damn, when are these teeth gonna come in? Like, just come in. Just let the teeth come in. Like, come in. I don't want to be dealing with this. See, my thing is I talk to her and everybody thinks I'm crazy. I will talk to her like she's an adult.
No, that's good. My sister does that with my nephew. And I always say it like when I'm here and I'm like down in the basement, I just woke up or something, or I'm doing dirty sports or whatever. I hear her talking, like I hear having full-on conversations. And the kid is super smart at this point. I mean, like, I don't know about smart, but he's super verbal. Like he can talk. And I was like, I think that really helps. I mean, she just has conversations with him the whole day.
Yeah, I've had some ideas too, some content ideas, because these videos that kids watch, I thought, like, what if you did a spin on it? The videos will be like, A is for Apple. Let's talk. These YouTube videos that are so popular or whatever. And
Are you into the Miss Rachel game yet?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Do you know that there's a theory that like half of Miss Rachel's subscribers are just jacking off to her? That'll ruin your day, right?
No, it doesn't surprise me. I did see Nipplegate with Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
What, did they think she had like a nipple piercing or something?
Yeah. Somebody, like, I don't know if it was Instagram or something. I saw somebody was like, yo, Miss Rachel's a freak. And it was like posting, you could see there was definitely some nipple piercing.
I mean, Miss Rachel has so many YouTube followers that you'd be like, oh, she's making so much dough. I guarantee you she makes more dough going to wealthy men's houses than being like, B is for bad boy. Do you want me to shove this dildo up your asshole? Yes,
so
Miss Rachel.
You think that's Miss Rachel's side gig?
Oh, like actually, I think the YouTube thing is Miss Rachel's sidekick.
That's okay. That's what you think. Like, well, first of all, there's probably dirtballs being like, "What the fuck are you guys?"
Anybody who has a niece, a nephew, a kid, or whatever.
Yeah, you're looking at us like, "What are you guys talking about?" I'll play something real quick just so dirtballs have a clue of what the hell we're talking about. This is Miss Rachel, and she's annoying as shit, but she figured it out. She has so many damn followers, and the kids love it. Like the kids will just listen. My daughter will just sit there and listen. This is Miss Rachel.
Hi, friends. Wow. Look. It's a surprise box. Let's take out a surprise.
Isn't Miss Rachel like every chick in LA, just like over the top accuracy chick?
What could it be? Do you want to take something out?
I think you're
with
right.
me?
I mean, I never thought of this. Not the horny dudes.
My other
let's
Miss Rachel
take
theory that I
something
always tell my sister is I was like, she doesn't really do anything except like I was like, I feel like I could just
Take
do
it
my
out,
regular
take it
day,
out, take
and if
it.
somebody was filming it, I could just talk, and I would basically have the same channel.
Dude, she has 5.49 million subscribers. The one that I just pulled up right here, look at this.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, 36 million
Yeah.
views.
I'm always like, I feel like I could do Miss Rachel if I just like had somebody following me around, and I was like, today we're going to get a bacon, egg, and cheese. Can you say delicious? Sometimes we will say BEC because B is for bacon.
So you could. So my idea was like doing like a sports spin. And
oh
again,
man, Can you imagine like just teaching Jordan and Kobe stands? Like,
well, that was my joke. Like she was doing like yesterday, she was doing each letter, and I'd be like, O is for overrated.
Or just like making them be able to understand basic stats. Like FGA is field goal attempts. Kobe Bryant shot 24. FGM is field goals made. He made 4. That is dog shit.
Well, that's literally what I was thinking. I was like, this would kind of be a funny bit because, and now
dogs go poo poo just like you.
I'm obviously revealing it, but it's like there's so many kid videos, and like I don't know what's crazy to me. I don't know if you talked to your sister about it. Like I don't know what it's in her videos or like a Coco Melon where kids are hooked. Like I don't know the psychology behind it. What is Miss Rachel doing where it's like, boom, you have my attention? Is it just the baby voice?
Do you know about Tractor Ted?
No, who's that?
You got a girl, so you wouldn't know about Tractor. This is truly the biggest scam of all time. Some fucking construction company just like films their work. Just like literally films tractors and like concrete trucks and whatever. Just films. It's just B-roll. And then they put a fucking cartoon bumper on the front. They're like, Tractor Ted. And then it's just B-roll of a construction site.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Oh my God. We're gonna have to watch a little of this. So, dude, like songs though?
No. Literally just B-roll. Natural nat sound of just like a lumber cutter.
Dude, this is amazing. I'm about to play this. This is hilarious.
Because I'm like, so I was up there yesterday. I was like, so your son just watches tractors just like working? It's like, do, Tractor Ted. You're like, oh, is this a cartoon? Oh, it's gonna be a cartoon? No, it's just a working tractor.
Look at that! It's huge! Oh, what's the cab
This is insane. This guy's
The
working.
cab on the chipper
Like,
lifts
I don't
up
even know that they
and
filmed
turns
this. I think they
around.
just found B-roll.
That's tractorific!
Like stuff you could get online.
This is so the driver can control the timber
Oh,
grab.
and he's British, huh?
Yeah, Tractor Ted. I feel like you just sourced footage of like working fucking shit.
So you're telling
And
me
he's like, those are wheels. Look at this. It's gonna pick up a tree. It's wild. So like think about this. You don't have to do any production. You just source B-roll and then you're like, look at it go. It's shoving it in
Then
its
it
thing.
chops everything into tiny
He
pieces
probably paid
called
50
chips
cents for the video.
and blows
It
them
might even be
into the
public
trailer.
domain.
this is insane. Yeah, and dude, what a Ted-tastic cab. At least Miss Rachel is like producing stuff and making graphics.
I'm gonna do Traffic Joe, and I'm just gonna like set up a camera at the intersection by my house. Be like, look at that Tesla. It's blue. Oh my God! Here comes a Jeep Wrangler. It's a Willys edition.
You know what though? That's the thing. Like these things,
What color is that car? Kids are just screaming at B-roll of traffic. It's red. That's right, kids. It is red.
I mean, there's some serious money happening in these channels.
Bro, how about this? Do you ever fucking? I love that we're down like a insane YouTube wormhole. How about the 20-hour long dog videos that you just put on for your dog when you leave the house? You ever seen those?
No,
They get millions of views, and it's just literally like birds chirping or like music playing. I mean, they get millions of views. And you know, like when we put up 1.5 hour episodes, like the longer you put up, some of their videos are 12 hours long, 20 hours long. They must get like the guy who just puts up like birds chirping in the woods and you leave it on high volume for your dog as you go out for 20 hours. He probably is a multi-millionaire. He's not even doing anything.
So these are for the dogs to relax when you're
Yeah, it's like leave some sound on for
Sure.
them. Yeah, but I mean, put dog relaxation video into your YouTube thing.
Dude, this whole this is a whole dog relaxation, not music.
I mean, look at how many things come up though, and look at how many views they have.
Oh my God, you're right. This one I just pulled up. Separation anxiety for dogs. 15 hours of deep separation anxiety for dogs.
How many views?
And let's just pull it up. So this one has, of course, it's starting with 2 ads. 44 million views.
Dude, can you just think about that? Just think about that. It's 15 hours. Let's say people watch a fifth of it. Let's say people watch 20%. That's 44 million times 3. This YouTube channel has 132 million hours of viewing.
So
There's a guy who's literally taking a private jet because he filmed 2 pugs for 15 hours.
I mean, listen, this is the music.
Yeah. That's not even foot video.
And then it just goes from dog to dog.
This is just stock photos now. He didn't even film anything. He's like, I see you. He's like, I see you, Tractor Ted, out there with your videos. I'm gonna do you one better. I'm buying 40 photos off of the AP wire. This is a dog laying on fruit, dude.
I love the subscribe to please help more dogs. No, help fuel that private jet, son. Funny. Well, it works because guess who just walked in here?
Roscoe's like, what's the fuck going on? What the fuck's going on?
He literally has been upstairs all day. He just walks in.
Can you
here.
imagine being in Vegas at Spearmint Rhino and you can't get a lap dance because there's some guy at some booth in the corner who's got 40 girls and he's just throwing money at them. And they're like, "What do you do, baby?" He's like, "I take publicly owned music and put it to publicly owned pictures. And then I write titles like separation anxiety for dogs." They're like, "What?" He's like, "Bitch, suck my dick."
You know what though? Kudos to these people, man.
Yeah.
Because they figured it out. And
Just some guy getting off his private jet and he's like, "Where is my limo?" And they're like, "Sorry." He's like, "You don't say sorry to Tractor Ted. You have his fucking limo waiting, or he fucking puts you in a fucking wood chipper."
you know what it reminds me of? Did you ever watch Californication?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, because obviously the show was a while ago, but do you remember the episode of, she kind of reminds me of Miss Rachel, the episode where David Duchovny bangs the freaky, like, cheerful mom who does the cooking show?
Oh, yeah.
Where she's kind of like Miss Rachel,
Yeah.
but with cooking. But, behind closed doors, just total freak.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably what's going on with Miss Rachel. I mean, who knows with all these people? Yeah, it's a whole market. Like this Blippy guy. I don't even know who Blippy is.
This cocaine cut with something? Is this fucking cocaine cut with something? Listen to me. I have fucking backhoe companies that are begging to be on my channel. You don't think I'll fucking have you buried in the English countryside by the end of the fucking day? I want some pure fucking Colombian white, you motherfucker. And then some guy's like, "Dude, Tractor Ted is on one today."
Oh no, Tractor Ted's here. Everybody hide. Tractor Ted's here. No, but that Blippy guy who's for older kids is so, like, he's so big, and he's in Target now. He's on toys from YouTube. It's pretty crazy. This is actually a great segue to discuss the future of NBA salaries, because I saw a great article in The Athletic to piggyback off last episode. We're talking about Jaylen Brown, and oh my God, he signed for 300
shits contracts bigger than Jaylen Brown's.
Well, we were talking about, he's getting $304 million, and Jaylen Brown's obviously a very good player, but like he's not a top 5 player. He's not a top 10 player. So they posted an article in The Athletic just 5 hours ago. So I read it this morning. Dude, it's bonkers where it's headed. Now, these are projections. This is all pending mostly media and TV contracts. So it's projections and it might not pan out. But listen to this. The NBA Supermax.
Wait. You're telling me like the contracts, NBA contracts are going to go up drastically because it's all based on like revenue and whatever, and the TV contracts are also going to go bananas.
They should. I mean, look, things can.
Right. They could continue to go woke and continue to go broke.
Well, no, that won't. They will continue to go up. We just don't know if they're going to go up at this rate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, so here's a prime example. The NBA salary cap, they take it and they say 10 years ago for the 2014-2015 season, it was 63 million. This season it'll be 136. So they're basically extrapolating and saying, hey, it's doubled in 10 years, right, Prano? What's it going to be in another not even 10 years? So like the max salary that people will earn this year is 47.6 million. If these projections maintain, listen to this. This is going to this blew my mind. By the 2029, 2030 season, not even 10 years, the salary cap will probably be 240.
Jesus Christ.
The max salary players will be earning, hear this out, per year, if you can get a max deal, like some of the upper echelon guys like a Jaylen Brown, will be 84.34 million.
Jesus Christ.
So again, they're saying, look, it probably won't go at this
Fucking
rate.
Tractor Ted money. 5 years from now, Victor Wembanyama, Tractor Ted, and Miss Rachel are going to be in a fucking room made solely of gold, thinking about diving into their coins like they're Scrooge McDuck. And Victor Wembanyama's going to go woke, go broke. Tractor Ted, pass the fucking cocaine.
So if this happens, or if it's even close, you're looking. Here's what's crazy, and here's context, because I like context to compare it to other things. We always do comparisons. So if this projection maintains, right now the largest deal is still Patrick Mahomes as far as a 10-year, $477 million, the largest U.S.
deal?
athlete. What's that?
The largest U.S. sports deal.
Yeah, the largest U.S. sports deal is still Patrick Mahomes. We're not saying guaranteed money, but the actual contract was 10 years, $477 million. I like they put this in the article because they say, look, that's 10 years, 477. If this holds up, the max deal in 2029, 2030 for an NBA player would be 5 years, $489 million.
Jesus Christ.
So the article is saying, basically, if these things keep jumping, and it says this pretty emphatically, a lot of these guys could be slated, and we're not even talking the LeBrons, I just want to make this clear. Like,
right, of course.
They're saying a lot of these guys could be making almost $1 billion in contracts.
Yeah.
Like, if they continue to max out.
Not to mention, like, you talk about the fucking how it slides down the ladder, you know what I mean, in terms of contracts for everybody else.
Well, that's what it's saying. So a super max deal contract signed in 2029 for the year one of the max, and I'm a little confused on this. I don't know enough about this. Would be $84 million.
That's
but the year 5 person, it's $111 million.
Yeah,
just for one season.
Yeah.
And then they go through a whole interesting thing of, the most paid players and where the NBA's gone, and like the highest salary.
The NBA is fucking bananas. Imagine being Saquon Barkley and you're in the gym and you're squatting like 800 pounds, and every time they hand you the ball, you make 4 other professional athletes feel like you're teleporting because they can't put they were like, he was just right there and now I can't touch him. And then Dante DiVincenzo's like, you poor bitch. You poor fuck.
I know, exactly. Basically, the moral of the story is learn how to make 3-pointers, kids. Learn how to dunk.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of that is
Steph Curry's never dunked in his fucking life.
Yeah, I was just going to say a lot of that's natural ability or hard work or both. I'd say Steph's both. But here's a crazy number for you. Let's see if you get this. And they list this. They list the NBA top salaries over going back to like Moses Malone. Just they pick random years. And they also do it compared for inflation. So your boy Patrick Ewing was the highest paid player in the NBA for the 90-91 season.
Fucking go. Well deserved. Well deserved.
What do you think Patrick? Let's just do it. What do you think Patrick Ewing made for the 90-91 season as the top paid player
in actual numbers, like for the season?
For the season,
$8 million.
$4.25 million.
Jesus Christ,
which
dude.
Adjusted for inflation would be 9.63. So
Jesus Christ.
So the only big anomaly, if you look at this list, is the Jordan. Like Jordan was paid an exorbitant amount his last few years.
Yeah.
Like he was paid $33 million, which nobody then got near that again.
Yeah.
For like 10 years because he was doing those 1-year deals with the Bulls. But it's pretty insane. And what the article is basically saying is, if you're like a Jaylen Brown or you were just drafted this year, if you keep doing the max deal, if you get a couple max deals, if you play 10 years and max out, you might have $1 billion in earnings to not even be like a top 15 player. Now, Disney could say, which who knows, like the bubble could burst. At some point, you do wonder, at some point, do these networks say, how much money are we giving you?
Yeah.
Like that could happen.
But I mean, if you look at everything that's going on right now,
highly unlikely
with the fucking strike and whatever, it's like, this is just, it's just built in content. You know what I mean? Not only do you get the content of actually making the production around games, you get all the content before, you get all the content after, you get all the discussion in the morning talking about it and whatever. And people go to those channels, whatever networks got it, they go to those networks because they're like, that's who has basketball. Oh, I want to watch TNT because TNT is that's where I'm going to find my pregame, postgame, inside the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, it is true. Like you said, if you're a Saquon and you see these quote unquote 7th guy off the bench, 8th guy off the bench players, and you're like, dude, you're tripling my salary to be a role player.
And he's like, oh, it's Saquon. It's for 5 years, and you're getting it for 1, and they're going to reevaluate if you're still healthy, if your brain's not oatmeal.
So, sticking with that, ESPN has named their new top crew. This is an interesting one. Doris Burke, Doc Rivers, and Mike Breen stays.
I don't hate Doris Burke. I mean, we won't reference the origin story of this show. Thousandth episode coming up in New Orleans, December 16th. December 16th? Yeah, December 16th. Comedy House, New Orleans. Tickets should be up soon. Make your travel plans now. We'll definitely be hearkening back to the days. But I've always I've always liked Doris Burke. I got to say, listen, there was a time where Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson were great.
I agree.
And they just, I mean, it became so boomerific that you were just like, okay, like this is like watching basketball with fucking, I don't know, Joe Bartnick or whatever. It's like, back in my day, it wasn't a foul. I would punch Alonzo Mourning in the nuts and there wasn't even a suspension. And you're like, okay, well, that's fine. Mike Breen, obviously the heart and soul of those broadcasts. I've always liked Doris Burke. I don't know what Doc Rivers brings to the table. You know, well, like, what do you do in this situation? I don't do anything.
Well, I was gonna say, let's address the first. I mean, like,
I would just if I had this play call, I'd talk about Jesus. You got a man next to you, and he's got a man next to him, and both of you have Jesus inside of you. So technically, Jesus is standing next to each other.
How can you have a guy who has a hoarse voice be on air? Like that's the first thing I thought. Like, what are you doing? You ever seen Jamie Foxx? You do a pretty good one. Do you ever see Jamie Foxx do him?
No, I'm sure Jamie Foxx is. I didn't know we had a Jamie Foxx impression queued up. Now I'm embarrassed.
I was like, yeah. So, well, this is like.
I mean, I did one off the cuff. I wasn't practicing it.
Yeah.
He's gonna come in and just absolutely serve me impression wise.
Well, this is an older one. This is an older bit that he did on Fallon.
Well, it's certainly not a newer Jamie Foxx bit. No offense.
This is a quick hitter. Let's play this one.
I'm glad I didn't just do Ray Charles.
Maybe next year. I don't know. I can't explain it. We tried. I mean, it's not Blake's fault. It's not Blake's fault. It's not on Blake. It's on all of us.
Doc,
yeah, we all do.
Doc, can you sing "Happy Birthday" to my kid?
I'd like to sing "Happy Birthday, Happy Birthday" to your kid. That's all I can say.
Are you inhaling?
I'm inhaling an exhale.
Doc Rivers been hoarse since birth.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe next year. I don't know.
I mean, that's my whole thing on it. It's like he's hoarse. Like
I love Jimmy Fallon, host of the fucking Tonight Show, coming with, "Can you sing my like?" Geez, set him up and we'll knock him down, JF.
Yeah, that was a weird way.
Can you say hi? Can you say hi to Questlove? Hey, Questlove. Great. It was a fantastic setup.
Look, here's the deal, man. I think they had worn out their welcome. I agree. It got to the point where the shtick, which was Van Gundy bitching about everything,
yeah,
and Mark Jackson usually supporting, being like the pro NBA, pro every.
And
like,
then they became then they became modern day cancel culture comics. They're like, I'm not going to say it because, I don't want to get in trouble, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, and then he'd say it.
My pronouns are, that's not a foul. You're like, okay.
So
My pronouns are flagrant 1. Like, are we doing Rob Schneider's act? What is happening here?
well, look, I'm just gonna say it though, and I don't care. People might not agree. I think like we all wanted a new crew. This was not the new crew I wanted.
I love that they replaced Mark Jackson with other Mark Jackson. They replaced Mark Jackson with Hoarse voiced Mark Jackson. Like Mark Jackson, Doc Rivers, 90s point guards / incompetent coaches / motivational speakers.
Well, I was reading a good thing though, as far as describing their like the previous with Jackson and Van Gundy, and they made a good point. They're like, look, Mark Jackson exists because of the whole thing with Van Gundy. Like they turned into that shtick. So when you get rid of Van Gundy,
At least he had hand down, and mama, there goes that
Yeah,
man.
but
At least he had a couple.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, what's Doc Rivers bringing?
I feel like Doc Rivers is just bringing Mark Jackson with a hoarse voice.
I've been saying it for years. If you have a hand down, it's unlikely that your man will be up.
You're like, oh, Jesus. Are you trying to say hand down, man down?
I want to, but it's trademarked.
I think Mike Breen's job just got harder.
Yeah.
Right? Like at least he had all those years working with those two, and he knew how to handle it as the straight guy.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay. Well, he's worked with Doris Burke, so he's got that experience. But like,
I like Doris Burke. I think she does a good job. And who was Doris Burke used to be paired with? The white-black guy. The black-white guy.
what's his name from Canada?
Is he Canadian?
He is Canadian.
That explains everything. He was like listening to paint dry.
Yeah,
He provided nothing.
He was a good straight like.
Yeah, but honestly, he was so unimpressive. I was like, let Doris Burke do this. Do it Vin Scully style. Just give me Burke.
I think she talks too much.
Well, the other guy was horribly boring.
Why am I forgetting his name? How are we forgetting his name?
Yeah, I can see his face.
No, yeah, he's been a staple at ESPN. Yeah, I think he's from Toronto.
Is he also fired? Is that why? Is that team gone?
I don't know, but so apparently the next team is going to be, or maybe he's doing it with these two. Is Richard Jefferson and JJ Redick.
See, it seems crazy to me that they didn't split those guys up. Because
I think I read that. Maybe I'm incorrect. I thought I read that.
maybe they're grooming them to move into with Breen. Maybe they think they're not ready.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But shout out to your brother, an early innovator with the Doris Burke. He sent me a picture, the early Dirty Sports days. Did you know that?
No. What? What did he send you?
I think it's like a picture of his nuts or something.
Oh.
When the whole Doris Burke, I'm just going to say it, Doris Burke's dick thing was going around.
I'm going to send you something right now since you brought up my I went to a concert last night.
I didn't even know him that well, for the record. Like he was like sending me pictures of his nuts.
Here's a good one for you. Obviously can't put this on the screen. We'd get banned on YouTube. But speaking about not knowing him well, I went to a concert last night. I went with my buddy Tony and his wife, Alston, and she brought up my brother. And she goes, "You know, the first time I ever met your brother, he was just like naked in the hallway of our apartment building." And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "You don't remember that?"
Bro.
And then Tony was like, "I have a picture of it."
What is he doing? Is he a gymnast?
He's doing a handstand. He fell down those stairs, just drunkenly naked in their hallway.
He's doing a handstand completely naked.
Completely naked. And she's like, I walked out, and that was the first time I met him.
This was your spot in Brooklyn.
That was Tony's apartment in Little Italy. Can you imagine just that guy showing up at your door? We're going streaking. You answer your door. There's a naked guy doing a handstand.
I'm really not going to talk trash though, because like I see that picture and I'm like,
he was like 30.
I was like, yeah, that's me. I mean, have I told you about have I ever sent you the barbecue sauce one with me?
No.
This is like college. And I don't know what happened. We're drinking in my apartment. And somebody decided, like, they're all messing with me. I'm just, classic blacked out drunk. And they grab a Sam's Club size thing of barbecue sauce. And I would always get naked too. And, we're having like a mini party or whatever we have at our apartment. And I'm naked from the waist down. And there's this picture. I'm laying on the ground and they had just dumped all this barbecue sauce over me. And you can just see my cock and balls just like sitting there out. And there's barbecue sauce all over my face, all over my
Andy's baby back dick barbecue sauce.
It's like all over my fraternity hoodie, all over my balls.
Baby hands and dick barbecue sauce.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of that photo of your brother doing a handstand naked. Like,
why did you allow them to put barbecue sauce on you?
I don't know.
Just blackout.
Dude, I was like, yeah, it was like, let's be weird. Let's get naked. Let's
get weird.
Let's just dump barbecue sauce all over Ruther. Like I was probably like Mikey because I was naked all the time. To the point that the girl, let's use the loose girlfriend term, said at one point, like, dude,
you gotta stop.
Like, she goes, the entire campus has seen your dick. Like, it doesn't matter.
Sounds like we need a bigger campus, hun.
like you can't, like, every party, every bar, you can't just like start, now nowadays I'd be
you'd be thrown out of school.
I'd be arrested.
You're like, what? This isn't a safe space for nudists?
Dude, I used to pick up, this is true. I used to go to the laundry room. I was in a dorm. It was a 16-story dorm. And on the sides of it had 2 connected buildings that were 5 stories. So, total 26 stories, 1 giant laundry room and dryer in the basement. So, like, that's a lot of kids, man. Who knows how many kids live there? Anyway, the laundry room was in the basement where they created even more.
Imagine
dorms.
having that many kids in one place using one washer or dryer, and then one weekend they can't because you shit in it.
Yeah, exactly.
What an asshole.
So I used to pick up the laundry. I'd walk in there completely buck naked. And I'd go into the dryer naked with my little laundry basket. It didn't matter who was in there. Girls, guys, right? And this is like 2001, 2000. This is way 2002.
Pre 9/11 when you can still get away with this stuff.
This is way pre iPhone.
By the way, this is why Al Qaeda bombed us. They're like, we need to teach America a lesson. Look at they're monsters.
So, dude, I'd walk in and people
in our country, women are allowed to show their noses. In their country, some guys covered in barbecue sauce, jacking off in the laundry room.
Dude, I'd walk in sometimes. Buddies would be following me, laughing, just cackling, completely nude, bent over in the dryer, putting the clothes in, and people just be staring at me. And this was me thinking I'm so funny. I'd try to play it straight. I go, what? I go, I'm out of clothes, completely out of clothes. That's why I'm in here. I'm just getting the clothes, and I'd walk out just naked right down the hall. Like, that's what I did.
That was my thing. Signature move.
Just a complete animal.
Tim Hardaway had the killer crossover. I had the naked laundry pickup.
the naked laundry pickup. Oh, well, Joe, it's a time capsule.
Well, listen, this has been a great episode. Gonna keep it short today. Go to some calls.
Yeah, I don't even know what else I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, I did want to talk about Hard Knocks starting next week,
Yeah, it makes sense. It's July.
August.
Yeah, barely.
But this is what I wanted to bring up because I wanted your opinion on this. I know we've had our gripes about Hard Knocks in recent years.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say this is the most excited I've been for Hard Knocks in years.
I feel like you said this last year and the year before. Like, I feel like you were excited about them. Like, you know, I
No,
know
this one's different.
And listen, the Hard Knocks of the last few years, I never didn't watch the first episode within 24 or 48 hours. Like, it comes out on Tuesday. I've always watched Hard Knocks before our Thursday episode. Always. And I just gave up. Like, it's just the way it goes these days with content. Like, there's enough content out there and there's enough things to do where it's like, I don't keep going if it's shit. So I'm 100% going to watch this. Probably. I mean, I'll be back in LA on Monday. I'll probably watch it Tuesday.
It comes out Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it Tuesday. And then we'll see where we go.
Look, you got New York, a New York team. You got historically bad Jets.
Historically great quarterback.
An all-time great quarterback, the young guy who's supposed to be the next guy who's not. You have a young, talented team, a coach who I think is very likable.
We'll find out. That's for sure.
I don't want to jinx it, but I think it has a lot of potential. I did see the one clip of the quick little teaser that they have. Have you seen this? This is like the teaser that they're keeping a pretty tight-lipped, but this was the one I saw of just a quick little Aaron Rodgers pep talk here.
Well, I got nothing, man. I'm just happy to be out here, excited to be with you guys. All I'm going to say is this camp is a long camp, right? Let's just enjoy the little things every single day, right? Take time to laugh a little bit. Find a conversation at lunchtime with somebody new. Don't always sit with the same group. Get to know your teammates a little bit. That's part of the leadership role. Just enjoy the little moments. It goes by fast, and you get to be really old and gray and savoring every little moment. So savor them right now, all right? Cues up quick. 1, 2, 3, cues!
That was just a QB huddle.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think it's like, you know, it's a look into probably how he's gonna be.
Yeah,
talking about life and talk to somebody you don't know, and I mean, he's like the old sage on the team.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how Aaron Rodgers comes off. I mean, I think it's going to be a lot of that. Like, it seems honest, but slightly prepared. And I'm okay with that.
Like I said, I'm low key. I'm like rooting for this team to do well. So I don't know. I liked Salah a lot. Salah. How's Robert? Salah. I liked him as a defensive coordinator a lot in San Francisco. I like the hire. Again, if they had a decent quarterback last year, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think it has good potential. Now, you talk about, like it's July. No, dude.
Do you think the Jets win the AFC East?
I don't know.
We're on that. We're on that, like, you know, we're going to have an NFL preview episode where we make these claims. But, like, right now, let me ask you something. When you say you don't know, I mean, according to Justin Woods' Bengals countdown, I believe we're 49 days from Bengals football. So we're over a month away from football. Do you think that you will be able to?
It's less than that, man.
Is it 39 days?
Yeah, because it's September. I think September 10th is that first Sunday.
Okay. So we're 39 days, whatever it is. I just saw Justin go to a new number. It must be 39 days. Anyway, we're a month from football. You're not you're not confident enough to make the claim either way right now. Do you feel like you will be confident enough to make the claim after 2 episodes of Hard Knocks?
I don't know if it'll change my opinion.
Really? You don't know if what you see you'll be able to confidently say.
I will confidently say right now, I think either the Jets or the Bills win that division. I'm giving zero confidence to Miami or New England. I will confidently say that. I will confidently also
You hear
say
that, Mac? You want to make it $2,000? You're not winning.
I will also confidently say, here's a wild one. Maybe it's not that wild. I think Robert Saleh coaches, whether it's the Jets or whoever, has a much longer head coaching career than McDaniel in Miami.
Wow. I mean, I think McDaniel did a good job last year.
He did. But I also, I
mean, we say if they had a competent quarterback, the Jets would have been in. I'd argue that, obviously Tua was out for a lot of the season. The Dolphins did get in, and just trigger some Dolphins fans more. I'd argue Tua isn't he's certainly not what everybody that is a Tua stan or a Dolphin stan believes he is. He's a middle of the road quarterback, So you had a middle of the road quarterback, and then your middle of the road quarterback went out, and they made the playoffs.
I think the tenure can be longer for defensive-minded coaches who also get their players to buy in. I think he's already got that franchise. I think he has guys buying in.
Meanwhile, last year in Miami, they were like the ping pong gate. Fucking
yeah. I just think that the offensive guys, those they come and go, in my opinion, because that's constantly changing. Where defense is defense, right? At the end of the day. Now,
let me ask you something.
There are outliers for sure.
Let me ask you something, because I was just thinking about this the other day, and after we have the initial conversation, I'll retrace the steps to how I got to this. So NFL offense is constantly changing, right? And constantly obviously getting better. And the quarterback, I mean, if you look at completion percentages and blah, 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 blah. From we talk about it with the NBA when it's simply athleticism. And because it's 5 guys on the court, and because the skill sets have changed so much, it's to me, it's obvious. I saw somebody the other day on our TikTok comments on Dirty Sports saying, here's the 5 best NBA teams of all time. And I was like, the 2016, 2017 Warriors would shit and piss on every one of those teams. They'd beat them by 40. It wouldn't be fucking close. The 80, 81 fucking 76ers, literally 100-point loss. It'd be like a fucking all-star game. Moses Malone would retire in the middle of the game. They'd get fucking decimated. Do you think in the NFL, with the way offenses are changing, do you think teams from today, let's just say the Bills this past year, didn't go to the Super Bowl, didn't go to the fucking AFC Championship game. Do you think that the 2022 Bills, do you think they wipe the floor with a 2005 Patriots team, or let's say the 18-0 Patriots? Do you think they beat the shit out of the 18-0 Patriots?
It's all, I don't know. Football's always it's not that different as far as, do you think, let me ask you this. Let me follow up with a question before I answer. Do you think the game is that much different from the 2008 Patriots to?
That's what I couldn't make the decision. I mean, I think it is very different, but I'm wondering if it's different enough.
I don't think it is.
So, and here now we'll retread into the conversation. So I was hanging out with somebody, and they were obviously yada, 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 Eagles fan. And they were like, the 2006-7, the 2007 Super Bowl Giants might be the worst team to ever win a Super Bowl. And I was like, listen, you can say that all you want, but, and this is my counter argument, This is my fucking counter argument, and this is going to trigger some people and get some people going, Joe Brano, New York Giants slurper. But, like, I don't really give a fuck about your regular season. I don't really give a fuck about your statistics. I don't really give a fuck about anything. The name of the game for football is preparing for any given Sunday and whatever. It's like, if the Patriots had won that game, people would have been like, hands down, that's the best team of all time.
Yeah.
I'd argue at that time, and obviously it's, there's been great teams. That's why the first part of this question happened. But I'd argue, theoretically, that Giants team is the best team of all time at that time. In 2007, that Giants team is the best team of all time. You have a team that runs in there 18-0, sets all the records. It's like, the name of the game is, the name of football is, any given Sunday, two teams show up. Who prepares? Who strategizes? Who plays the X's and O's against their opponent? And the arguably, hands down, best team of all time walked in. And listen, I understand that if you play that game 20 times.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah. But you don't play that game 20 times. So you play it fucking once.
But that's the argument. So let's say you play that game 20 times and the Patriots win 17 of them. So let's say at an 85% rate.
But that doesn't happen, right?
No, it doesn't happen. But to say the Giants are the best team of all time for beating
the best team of all time in the biggest game on the thing with the 2-week break.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see that.
I know. But this would be my argument. And this was the argument I made is, we can talk about the rosters and the talent and the records and the stats and the whatever. But in the end, like, that is the point. That is why the NFL is what it is. Because in the end, you got to show up and you got to fucking play and you have to fucking win. Like, you can't argue. The Kansas City Chiefs are in the midst of a mini dynasty, right? But you can't argue the Chiefs team that lost to the Tampa Bay Bucks team,
they got killed too,
is a better team. You can't argue it. You can't say they're better. Well, look, they go on to be better. They're better before. They're better after. Any given Sunday, the fucking Bucks can come out and kick their ass. They had an off day. Yeah, that's the name of the game. It's the Super Bowl. Don't have an off day. That's getting out-coached on that day. That's getting outplayed on that day. Now, the reason I brought up the first part of this argument is I also think that what the Giants are able to do defensively, even though we see in that Tampa Bay Chiefs game, you still get to the point where, like, listen, if you're getting to the quarterback, even Patrick Mahomes is human. But I think the Chiefs have now, like, adjusted for that. They're like, we don't have the greatest offensive line. Let's start doing this and this and this different. And they evolve and they get better. I think that there are teams that probably beat, maybe not destroy the way the Warriors would, but I think there's probably, this year's Chiefs team, which their record wasn't great, but whatever. But they probably beat that Patriots team. They probably do. But my argument is, like, in football especially, like, that's the name of the game.
I think it's tough to compare two eras or even just within the last 10, 15, 20 years because there's 22 guys. Basketball is just 5 guys on a court. So you have more than 4 times the number of people involved. Like even right now, I can name a lot of guys in the offense of that Patriots team because they were so high scoring, and obviously the infamous Randy Johnson to the Patriots.
Randy Moss.
I mean, although
Randy
Randy
Johnson to the Patriots would be awesome.
That would have been great too. But like defensively, like who we got? Like Seymour, Rodney Harrison, like
Asante Samuel,
Teddy Bruschi, like obviously I'm coming up with some names just from because I watched so much damn football. But my point is, like, I couldn't tell you. I know that Patriots offense was probably top ranked. I don't know where their defense was that year. Was it top 5?
Yeah,
probably. I don't know. This is actually a good segue for a call we have. I might as well just get to it. because it's football related. So here's a quick hit and call. 310-359-8365. This is the hotline.
What's up, Joe and Andy? This is Logan from Minnesota, home of From the Front Seat podcast. Shout out and a lot of fat people. I have two questions for you. There's a lot of people here with mental illness with their love of Kirk Cousins. And we were arguing this the other day in our group message. Would you rather have Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott as your quarterback? And I'd love to know why.
Wow.
And second question is for Joe. Who would you rather do a full stand-up 30 minutes or an hour or whatever you do in front of a room full of Kirk Cousins slurpers or a room full of Swifties?
Oh,
all right.
that's
Condoms
what
are for Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's a fraud, certified fucking bum.
Whoa. The Giannis heat
What's
at the
up,
end.
Joe and Andy?
Oh, hold on. The Giannis heat at the end. Well, I already know the second part's easy.
But actually, so I'm going to answer his question with one answer, but I'm going to answer what I think he really means with another one. Who would I rather do a half hour of stand-up in front of? The Swifties, because you know me, and you know that's the kind of shit that gives me fucking life, is like, dude, I'll do a half hour on my hatred of Taylor Swift. I'll get glasses thrown at me, bottles thrown at me. I'll get people doxing me. Like, you know, I'm here for that life. Like, anybody who remembers my X reply game back in the day, anybody that knows just my I mean, go to my fucking latest TikTok. I replied to every angry comment. I get life from triggering groups of people I fucking hate. So I would rather do stand up in front of Taylor Swift fans than Kirk Cousins fans. But I think what your question is who is a more delusional and fucking ridiculous and like embarrassing fan base. And that is also Taylor Swift. Like theoretically, if I said that, I'd be like, oh, I'd rather do it in front of Kirk Cousins fans. But no, I'm here. Give me that. Give me all the smoke. But the like, when we talk about people who stand somebody with way too much passion, Kirk Cousins fans are up there, but they're not even the same fucking stratosphere as Taylor Swift fans. I posted on TikTok or on Instagram yesterday. Emily Ratajkowski said, if you don't like Taylor Swift, you're a misogynist. That's it. That was the sentence. That's the quote. If you don't like this musical artist, you are a misogynist.
Weird take.
Right? I said, yeah, and you're a misandrist if you don't like Donald Trump.
So you're misogynist just like you don't like somebody's music?
Yeah. If you don't like Willie Nelson, then you hate men. That's how delusional they are.
This is the headline. Emily Ratajkowski calls herself a misogynist because she didn't fuck with Taylor Swift. Ratajkowski revealed that she has since learned the error of her ways. Bro. I mean, it's very, very next level cultish, religion cultish.
You have no idea.
Okay, so the first question though.
First question.
I think
it's very tough.
This is a really tough one.
So
let's go to the playoffs because you know what, like you already said, the playoffs are all that matters. So let's fast forward. You enter the playoffs this season. You have to choose Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott.
So it's really tough. I mean, Kirk Cousins had such a better year last year. And it's not like Dak has bad receivers. It's not like Dak doesn't have weapons. But also, Kirk Cousins had years like Dak Prescott's last year. And Dak Prescott's last year could be an anomaly. It could be. And Kirk Cousins, you know, with Justin Jefferson has looked completely different. He just doesn't turn over the ball as much. But I'll say this. I'm going to take Dak Prescott. And here's why. Dak Prescott wiped his ass with the Giants twice last year. I mean, if you want to have like a scientific thing. You want to have a control group. They both played the Giants twice. That's your control group. They both played the Giants twice. Dak had to play them once on the road. Kirk Cousins got them both times at home. Kirk Cousins got them 3 weeks apart or 2 weeks apart. Dak Prescott wiped his... Actually, sorry, that's not true. The fucking other dude wiped his ass with the Giants one time. Ah, fuck. Takes me back. I'm still taking Dak. The bottom line is I just think come playoff time, there's a little bit more of a question mark of what you'll get from Dak. And I kind of feel like I know what you're going to get from Kirk Cousins. You're going to get fourth down, check down for that. You're going to get 4th and 11, throw the ball 2 yards behind the line. Game over. Captain check down.
Now, if you
Justin Jefferson's double covered, I guess I'll throw the ball backwards. I'd rather Dak throw a fucking interception in that situation.
So if you pull up their playoff numbers, I mean, this is really a tough decision. You got Cousins is 1-3, Dak's 2-4. Now you could make an argument Dak's played on some better teams, had more talent.
You could make that argument if Kirk Cousins didn't join a team that had just made the NFC Championship game the year before. You could make that argument.
True. So that's that kind of debunks that. Now look, their numbers.
That team was different. No, guys, it wasn't. I don't know how to break it to you.
If you look at them side by side, they're pretty eerily similar. I agree with you. I'm gonna lean towards Dak. Here's why. Like you already stated, you know what you're getting from Kirk Cousins. Dak is a wild card, but he can make that play, I think.
How about career numbers? If you could just go statistically, like side by side, if you go NFL player comp, yards per attempt, I bet you it's also pretty close.
Let's do it. I mean, dude, it's pretty crazy. Like if you, I mean, it really is. Okay, so side by side, regular season. Where are we at? Why we're not doing yards per game? God, they're trying to do all this fantasy shit now. Regardless, completion percentage, dude, it's all very similar.
Yeah.
Now,
and also, can we just say something? I know, like, listen, the NFC East has had ups. That's the definition of the NFC East, right? It has its ups and downs. It's a different team every year in the playoffs, right? It's a fucking different team every year that wins the division. But one thing is for sure, in the 6 games that you will play against the NFC East, if the Giants are 0 and whatever, if the fucking Eagles have Chip Kelly, if the fucking Washington Commander football team has Jay Gruden, it doesn't matter. Like, those teams play each other tough. And Kirk Cousins was bad in the NFC East, and Dak Prescott is not bad in that.
Well, look, again, I know it doesn't matter because it's a team's game. So I'm kind of gonna debunk this. But head to head, Dak's 5-1. Kirk's
and they butt fucked them this year.
Kirk's 1-5.
Yeah.
With Dallas playing.
I feel great about saying Dak. At first, I was like, oh, this is a tough question. Now I feel great about it.
Well, you also have the legs component as well, right? Yeah. With Dak. That's my point of saying, like, he could make a play, whether that's throwing the ball or running the ball. I just don't get, like, the Kirk
Also,
Cousins.
I'm going to assume that Dak Prescott, being a black guy who went to Mississippi State or whatever, is probably loves Jesus, but I don't think he owns a super church. So that's a deciding factor.
I didn't know Cousins owned one.
Cousins is like the fucking...
Is that in the doc?
No, I don't. If it is, we haven't gotten there yet. His dad is a super church pastor at one of those like Costco's that I'm just assuming Kirk Cousins paid for, and that's why his man cave looks like it was made at a fucking Hobby Lobby. He's like, I mean, I would have loved to make a sick baller ass man cave, but I just gave my $30 million to my dad so he can hold church in a Costco and tell people not to get vaccinated.
Well, I wasn't sure. I knew he was like a big Jesus guy.
I haven't gotten to the faith episode yet.
I'm struggling. I'm still like not even finished with episode 3.
They're boring. They're boring guys. Everybody, including Mahomes, is kind of boring.
Yeah, I'll be honest. And then Shark Week happened, and I'm just like, bro, Shark Week was off the hook this year. I was catching up last night, dude. You gotta get on Shark, dude. These guys created.
Bro, do you know anything about me? I want to know as little about sharks as possible. It's just like you're telling Indiana Jones. Have you thought about watching Snake Week? Like, no, man, I don't want to know.
No, I was going to tell you what these guys did. This guy created this team created a whale carcass, a fake whale carcass to attract, and they even shunned to attract great whites. And he goes in it. It's just a glass little thing to literally be underneath in this glass thing. It's all, they even do the fake blood to attract the sharks. They do the whole thing to attract a feeding frenzy so he can be underneath watching it all and filming it. But they're like, dude, if it goes for this glass thing, it's going to break. You have to swim away. But we're talking, a bunch of great whites eating on this fake carcass just so they could film. It's never been done before. I was watching last night. I just kept being like, are you watching this? Like Brittany's like on her phone on Instagram. I'm like, are you watching this? This is insane.
I'm Jason Momoa. Welcome to Shark Week.
Yeah, that was interesting. I feel ya. Was it you who had the GoPro? And then, or was that lock on it? And then you came home and you watched the footage. And you're like, "Fuck, there was a shark right under my board." Or was that?
No, but I probably sent you that footage.
Or was that somebody else?
There's a lot of footage of this guy who does that down at Porto.
Well, I guess you're not going to be partaking in it.
No, I will not be participating in Shark Week.
It's
like Holocaust survivors. They're like, we don't really get into the History Channel that much. It's pretty much all just a horror movie.
Yeah, I feel ya. So we talked a little before we do that, Joe. Before we do that, I mean, we're an hour into the episode.
Right.
We haven't even discussed our friends at Miller Lite yet.
Is it Thursday?
It's Thursday, man.
Oh, man. First of all, did you see the post I put on Instagram yesterday?
Dude, I got to open my phone. I did not.
I was reading the New York Post yesterday. Just a little fun New York throwback. There was an article. New light leader, Miller. The number one light beer. The number one light beer. Finally reclaiming its throne. The original, now back to 1. Where it rightfully belonged. It's like when Letterman jumped Leno in the ratings. He was number 1. Then Leno had like Hugh Grant on or something, and the whole world stupidly started watching The Worst Guy. And then Letterman reclaimed it, I think when he had his heart attack. And here we are, the true leader, the obvious number 1, the best beer in the world. The best Pilsner in the world, the original light beer. I went out to a concert last night. Went and saw Tyler Childers at Radio City. What a fucking fantastic show, by the way.
Who's that?
Oh, it's great. Country artist. Really good.
You like country?
I like I've always been into like outlaw country. Like I've always liked Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson and like,
Is that what that's called? I mean, obviously,
yeah, like not like the opposite of
outlaw.
Yeah, Chris Christopherson, the opposite of pop country. I don't want to trigger anybody, but not like redneck country.
What is Garth Brooks?
I mean, Garth Brooks is very pop country. He's not
Okay.
really like kind of redneck, but he's very pop country. Very pop country. I mean, I would say he's the poster boy of pop country. So at a bar before, and this huge beer list, and I said I'll have a Miller Lite, and my friend's wife, who's with us, says, "Do you feel pressure, like you have to order a Miller Lite?" And I said 0%. 0%. Here's how I order beer. I see if there's Miller Lite. If there is, I don't even look at the rest. I order it. If there's not, now we're improving, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're Fran Tarkenton in the pocket. Now we're Archie Manning. We don't know what's going to happen next. We'll figure it out on the fly. But the first thing, is it alphabetical? Scan to the M's. Is it by style? Go to the Pilsners. Do they not have a list? Do you guys have Miller Lite? It's why we're here. Andy, it's why we're presented by Miller Lite, because I've always loved it. It's always been my GOAT. It's always been my number one. And when they realized that, they were like, well, this is a partnership made in heaven.
Well, talking about hanging with friends, seeing music, Miller Lite, like that's what summer's all about. So guys, make unforgettable summer memories with our friends at Miller Lite. To do that, get Miller Lite delivered right to your door or visit MillerLite.com/dirty sports, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. So there's this big gambling scandal that's hit college sports now. We've seen it with the NFL. We're now seeing it with several players at both Iowa and Iowa State.
Can I defend these guys quickly before you explain it? There's not a whole lot to do there, guys.
Yeah, it's crazy because we have a starting quarterback. You know, we have all these different guys, some of them who bet on different people's phones. Now we have the big one here that I saw is what's his name? Sorry, I don't know a lot of these guys. You have ex-Iowa Hawkeyes basketball player Aaron Eulis. So he started 27 games for Iowa last year. He placed online wagers on a FanDuel account set up under the name of his brother. This is a sting operation.
Basically what me and Mikey do with cable.
It is a sting operation. Eulis was under Iowa's legal gambling age of 21 when between February 2021 to December 2022, he used his phone to make about 1,800 wagers totaling over $34,800. The reason I'm bringing this up, because I don't even really care as much because I'm like over this shit. It's just like, sports as we know it at the collegiate level is, we talk about these NBA salaries and we're projecting what they're going to make 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now. I don't know where college sports is going to be. And I don't know why it would be fun. I already have my issues with it and that's fine. And you guys can like it, but I'm going to lump all this together. USC, UCLA going to the Big Ten, possibly Oregon, Washington going to the Big Ten, Florida State saying they want to leave the SEC, Colorado going back to the Big 12. What is called why would I like? There is no there what's the word I'm looking for? There's when I watch
consistency.
Yes, that's the word. Thank you. Guys, there's what am I watching here? What am I watching with? It's like a constantly fluid process of changing conferences and you can't gamble on this, the NIL deals. What the fuck is college sports at this point?
Well, let's go back to let me tackle a couple of your issues. First of all, you're not telling me college kids gamble. College kids? Not in my day. Not in my day. How dare you? That was sarcasm for the dirty sports fans who need that. Then, so like I always think when it comes to all this stuff, when it comes to the gambling on at all the leagues levels, I feel like I understand that they're heavy punishments because they're trying to like make sure you don't do it. But I think it's almost got to be like steroids. It's almost got to be like the first suspension's not crazy, but the third one, then you're banned or whatever. Because the bottom line is everybody's been gambling the whole time. And you just have a way to, there's now a paper trail.
Yeah.
So now you know. Can you imagine Michael Jordan's FanDuel account? He's like, can I get fucking 10-1 on they finding my dad's killers? They're like, yo, Mike, take it easy, bro. But then you get into like and then when we get to college sports, college football is like its own beast, right? And I've said for years, major college football, why are we pretending it has anything to do with conferences, universities, locations, whatever? Just fucking call it the minor leagues. The other college sports, like, I mean, the only sports that matters are the ones that are directly linked to major American professional sports, like college basketball. I guess people are into like college hockey a little bit, but like it falls off pretty quickly, like what the fuck else do people watch? So now we get into a situation where it's like NIL deals and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, dude, no one gives a shit.
Well, and then you toss in the transfer portal. So like I'm reading just a local article yesterday in the Cincinnati Enquirer, because I still follow Xavier, not as close as I used to, but I follow Xavier basketball, and they're talking about, Xavier's 4 new transfers. And I'm just like, because that's been out of control since the COVID year, right? So it's like,
which by the way, I'm for, because I hate, like some kids under control. The coach, he goes there. The coach leaves. He was on scholarship. Now
I agree. I don't know how you clean it up, but I think something has to be done. But my point is like, I'm like, what is college sports?
Defund college sports.
And then who's in? What would that mean?
Well, it means, to me, it means the exact, like, you remember when it defund the police, people were like, you want to end the police? I'm like, yes, I do. But that's not what they mean when they came up with it. But that's actually, I'm reversing it now. When I say defund college sports, I mean like literally, it's like just abolish it. Much like I want to abolish the police, but that's not what the actual defund means.
But what does that mean for college, though, is what I'm asking.
What does it mean for college? But
do you mean defund the NCAA?
Yeah.
In particular?
Yeah. Sorry. Defund the NCAA. And by that defund, I mean abolish. I mean all NCAA execs are bastards. That's what I mean.
So, like,
ANAB.
I'm trying to do it in my head. Anyway. So all these things are coming together. That's all I'm trying to bring up. Like, all these things are this is a giant force. And I would make the argument the NCAA ignored all these things or took advantage of situations and players and, image and likeness, all these different things that have collided. And this is what we're stuck with, a 68 team Big Ten, which again goes back to money. We talked about the NBA TV deals, all this, that's all that matters. So like, I don't know. Again, I was just perusing a quick article and they're like, well, Florida State wants to leave the ACC because the ACC TV deal sucks compared to the Big Ten, right? SEC. And then the Pac-12 is basically going to not exist. It's just not going to exist. And Oregon State and Washington State, shout out to CT formerly from Seattle, are going to end up in the Mountain West. Like it's kind of bananas how everything shakes out. And the underlying theme,
I don't know who's going to end up in the Western Athletic Conference, but I know one thing: all this shit is whack.
At the end of the day, I'm going to say it, because nobody talks about it. We're talking about, these are universities. But like that, like I don't know why nobody, like, This is all we're talking about, all this money, all these moves. Like, aren't you supposed to be higher education?
They don't give a fuck. That has nothing to do with anything at this point.
No,
That's what
it doesn't.
That's what I've been saying.
So like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know where college, as we know it, as you know it, as I know it, will be at in 20 years. Or
The high school math requirement to play for the University of Alabama's football team isn't even knowing what math is. Like, if I give you something and then I give you more of that thing and then I ask you how much more you have, you don't have to give me the answer, but do you know what that process would be called? Do you know what you would be doing to figure it out? He's like, counting? No, that's not it. It's like a school. It's like one of your classes in school where they teach you this. Oh, yeah, I've been in that class. That motherfucker sucks. Glasses wearing bitch. Yeah, no. What class does glasses wearing bitch teach? Teaches fucking numbers. You're like, no, that's not it. Can you just say math? Can you say math? Oh, you talk about math. That's right. You're the starting quarterback for the University of Alabama.
I had to drop college algebra, actually, my first year. I was failing. I hated math. By the way, that's a weird process for college, right? You're doing shitty in class, you just drop it.
Yeah.
Like why does nobody ever talk about that system?
It teaches you about relationships in life, you know? You're like pass, fail, I'm failing, I'm out.
But you've paid that money. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
You're a month into a class and you're, whoa, I'm doing shitty. And the university's like, yeah, awesome. And we're still taking your money.
Yeah. It's like your fiance keeping the engagement ring.
Until Walt Ruther calls and wants his money back. Because that happened.
Did he? For a class you dropped?
But it wasn't just me. It was like half the class dropped it. She was a terrible teacher. Terrible teacher. I ended up retaking it second semester, got a B, right? Terrible teacher. I was like, Dad, I'm not learning because I'm bad at math. And he called I want my money, blah, blah, blah. According to my son, half the kids dropped. And then it sounds like it's not a student problem. It's a teacher problem.
They're like, how dare you? Miss Rachel knows exactly what she's doing. All the female students are getting A's. All the men are getting D's with fucking rock hard boners because they think she might have a pierced nipple.
Miss Rachel.
I want my money back, and I want him in Tractor Ted's math class next year. I need something he can focus on.
Oh, man.
Righto. Welcome to all the people who dropped Miss Rachel. You looking at a bum, will you? Yeah. Well, let's start easy.
How many wheels are on this excavator?
Yeah. The tractor has 4 tires. 3 tires plus some number, what we'll call X. Solve for X. Tractors have 4 tires. That's right. I love that the Tractor Ted is now Australian. Right out. Good job, Brit.
I do love that Tractor Ted is British.
Yeah.
Just throws a whole loop in it. I want Tractor Ted and Miss
Tractor Ted
Rachel.
isn't even a real person.
I
There's
know.
no Tractor Ted.
But I want a collab. I want a Tractor Ted and Miss Rachel collab.
Yeah.
Right? I want them to kind of do their own thing.
Do you know what E stands for? It's like excavator.
I'm going to create my own character.
Yeah.
What can I create?
B is for banana. He's like, B's for backhoe, bitch. C is for cat. Concrete mixer. D is for dog. Demolition.
Unbelievable. Dude, you know, at this
E is
point.
for elephant. England. God save the Queen.
Have you watched any of this? Speaking of England, and have you watched any of this Women's World Cup?
I mean, I watched the one where Brandi Chastain took her shirt off.
20 years ago?
I think that was 2000.
Yeah, it was 2000.
Has there been one since?
There's one right now. I was just curious. I haven't watched any. I was just curious.
Or was that 90? That was 99, wasn't they? Go odd years. That was 99.
Yeah, it was 99.
I know it was 99 because they came for interviews and they were in the lobby of the radio station I was working at. And when I was working at WNEW in 1999 as an intern, I was just telling the story the other day. We played the song Scar Tissue every 45 minutes on the DAT. They're like, welcome to work. You'll be here for 8 hours. You'll hear Scar Tissue 14 times. Take it or fucking leave it. I was like, I'll take it. I kind of like that song.
Yeah. You know what? They definitely overplayed that, so it became not a fave. So I guess you're not watching it. That's fine. I'm just curious.
I'm not, but I heard Dennis Rodman's kid's in it. She's on the squad.
Oh, his daughter.
Yeah. Well, not his son. Although, I guess.
2023, bro.
I guess if what's her name got her way, she would be.
I bet she's a good athlete.
You think?
Huh. I wonder if did they talk?
Who? Rodman? Or probably not. Probably not. He's like, how are you not playing for North Korea? You've disgraced the family.
I'm pulling it up. That was 21-year-old daughter Trinity.
He's like, because I was a big Matrix fan. You know what I mean? It's about Matrix. A lot of people don't know that about being a big Matrix fan. 100% named after the Matrix, right? 21 years ago? 1 trillion%. I've never been sure of anything in my life.
I'm sure you're right.
But her baby Bob was a stripper. Wouldn't let me do, but Neo. She vetoed Neo and Lawrence Fishburne.
What
named the Trinity.
What an episode. Dennis Rodman impersonation. Doc Rivers.
The only thing of Dennis Rodman's impersonation, he's
Tractor
Dennis Rodman's very his first attempt, he's very nasally, and you can hear the moisture on his lips. Those are my two. If you're trying to do Dennis Rodman, I tried to get it right there. Very nasally, but deep. Usually nasally is high.
I'm a huge Dennis Rodman fan, by the way.
I'm assuming from cocaine use, but very nasally for how deep a voice he has, and you can hear the moisture on his lips. It's somehow his voice is somehow wet.
I do love that Dennis Rodman played on those Bulls teams. Like, I love it. It's just such a wild, like if you said, like, who could you could not name a single player in the modern NBA or even in the recent who's like a modern Dennis Rodman as far as off the court, the, you know, how eccentric he was, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But also being that good.
Right.
You know, all-time defender, all-time rebounder. Like you couldn't. I would almost argue Dennis. You talk about Jameis 1 of 1, Dennis 1 of 1. Like,
yeah,
who could you ever compare him to in any sport? I think he's that unique.
I mean, Ron Artest was pretty crazy.
He wasn't Rodman's level though, man. On an all-time team. But Robin, you had Madonna, Carmen Electra, like also the high profile women he was dating. Like, I mean, we almost hit him in my buddy's car, which I've said on this show.
And I'm not saying if he were a basketball player. I mean, it's almost the equivalent of the football player Antonio Brown joining the Warriors during they're like, he can defend, dude. He's refusing to play for the Raiders. They're just across the bridge. He can defend. Dude, he's going to need 2 more weeks off because he froze his feet solid. I mean, but when he comes back, they're like, we're going to have him on the team because he doesn't want to wear his helmet, and we don't wear helmets.
Dude, he's nuts.
And he's like, can I wear a shirt? Can I play shirtless? And they're like, in practice. I'll take it. You got yourself a deal.
I feel like he's changed. Antonio Brown, if you watch interviews now, I feel like everything, like his voice sounds different. I don't know what's going on there. Besides CTE. It all goes back to that Vontaze Burfict hit, the 2015-16 playoffs, which we were watching live on Rabble, if you remember.
That's right.
I bet that's the worst day of Randy Ruther's life. Them blowing that Steelers game.
I mean, because it was the Steelers.
Yeah. I want to say.
I mean, is that worse than losing in the Super Bowl? They were so close.
So close. I don't know. Let's wrap this up right now.
Okay.
Guys, give us a ring whenever you're available.
I've progressively slid down this chair. I might need to take
I was like, you need a nap. I don't know what's
going
on.
I've been taking medication for this knee injury. Makes me a little drowsy.
Okay, well.
Pop one this morning and try to get through the app.
310-359-8365. That's our hotline.
I've got shows this weekend in Atlantic City. If you're thinking about coming, you should come. August 4th and 5th, this Friday, tomorrow, and Saturday. 2 shows each night, 7:30 and 9:30, Atlantic City Comedy Club in the Claridge Hotel. Friend of the show, former guest, Pete Sestaro hosting. Back in L.A., couple of great shows in L.A., doing a great show at the Improv on Tuesday the 8th, doing a fucking amazing show on Thursday the 10th in Santa Monica at Westside Comedy Theater, and then hitting the road less than a week later after I get back. Boulder, the Boulder Comedy Show. It's a great show. Pete and I will both be on it on Sunday night, August 13th. The 14th, I'm trying to go to the Strokes at Red Rocks. If anybody has a Red Rocks hookup, slide in the DMs because I just spent a lot of money on Tyler Childers tickets. So slide in the DMs if you got the Red Rocks hookup. Tuesday, I think we're doing the new talent show, the Best of Denver or whatever it's called at Comedy Works. Thursday, we're doing a Don't Tell comedy, but don't tell anybody. And then Friday, Saturday, August 18th and 19th, we'll be in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Last time I was in Steamboat Springs doing the Steamboat Comedy Show at Schmiggity's. A couple dirtballs came out, so I hope to see some of you guys there. And then we'll be back. And I've got, Vegas in October, Alaska in November, 1000th Dirty Sports episode, Andy Ruther's nuptials, stand-up comedy, Saints Giants in December, all of those and more. JoePrano.com/shows. Hope to see you guys. Thank you. Tonight at the Stand. Did I say that? Tonight at the Stand.
Word. I better see Tractor Ted tonight. I want to see impersonations. I want to hear about it. Post some clips. Miss Rachel. I'm sure a lot of the audience will get it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend. And as always, stay dirty.